Oh boy, that was satisfying as hell. And I've waited 4 months for this moment because I've planned to make a video about this thing for about 4 months now, and I never came to actually make one. So yeah, so here it is, the DS916 or the DS916 Plus from Synology. And I hope I'm pronouncing that right, because else Synology will probably cut my head off. Okay, no, it's probably not going to be that dramatic, but seriously, and a huge thanks to Synology, because they gave me a little discount for this thing in order to make this review possible. I mean, I probably would have bought it anyways, because I needed a backup solution, and that's why I originally bought it. And that's why I bought the Synology NAS here and 20 terabyte of storage. And yes, it may sound a little overkill, because let's open this thing here, and yeah, sorry if it's a little bit dusty in here, because this thing has been up and running for 4 months without any dropout or anything else, and yeah, so it's a little bit dusty, and I haven't set it up in a dust-free environment or anything, and it's still running quite well. And yeah, and in this thing I'm using 4x 8 terabyte Western Digital Red HDDs. And so far they have kept my files fully secure, and including this NAS here in the background. I'm not even sure if it's called NAS in English. In German we just name it NAS, so I'm not sure. Anyway, so this thing has been working for 4 months here now and has kept my files fully safe. And I have to be honest, this thing is actually super easy to use. I wasn't expecting that, to be honest. You have a full web interface. I'm going to show it in the video somewhere here maybe now. You have a full web interface which looks like a desktop, like a real desktop with icons and everything, a drop-down menu for all your apps and a notification bar, and it's just super easy, like even the biggest idiot can understand it, to be honest. And I wasn't expecting that, because I actually tried to build my own NAS with an HP microserver, but this didn't work out at all, because neither did I know Linux too well, and you kinda needed a lot of Linux skills to actually set one up and keep your files safe and upload everything to the cloud and make sure that everything is there and that nothing is missing. And then you'd have to set up your own backup solution for all PCs you have, and it's just bullshit, to be honest. And I'm simply using a little app from Synology, which I'll show later on too. It's a little bit slow, to be honest, but it does its job really well. And I've already finished backing up one of my PCs, and I think it came over 6 terabytes or something. So anyways, a little warning here, because this is not going to be a full in-depth review of the Synology NAS. Go watch another video, please, if you're here for this, but I'm just going to do a little overview of the hardware itself here now, and a few quick looks at the software. So this is not an in-depth review. I'm not going to show what you can do with it. I'm going to show what I do with it. And yeah, so the price is around 350 bucks or something. So yeah, anyways, I've been waiting to remove this plastic here for quite some time now, and I already saw me there. Hello. I've already scratched it. Oh gosh, I've put it on the table like this, and I just did it like this, and it's scratched already. No worries there, it's a thing I'm going to use for my data, and the outside shouldn't matter too much. But yeah, you can easily remove the HDDs here by simply pushing this little tab up here and pulling the tray itself. And then you can get this HDD tray out here. And to remove the HDD, you simply pull this thing up, and it's already loose, so you can take it out. On the second side here, there's the same. And to put it in, simply align the little notches on the HDD here and push this thing in, and it locks in securely. So yeah, that's super easy to put it in, just to make sure that the SATA connectors are on the right side on the back, and there you go. So on the back here we have 2 super huge fans, or at least to the size of the thing, because look at my hand. So this thing isn't much bigger than 1 and 2 hands. So if you have big hands, of course it's wearing a little bit, but yeah, so this thing is super tiny. Like, I got it in the box. I unboxed it and I was like, what the hell, this thing is so tiny? I was expecting like a super huge thing like the micro server, but I was wrong. So anyways, you have 2 LAN ports here on the back here, or 2 Ethernet jacks or whatever you want to call it. Then you have 1 eSATA connector, that's for an external storage, because yes, you can still use an external storage from Synology, or even your own storage medium, I think. But you can get like is it an 8 tray or something? I'm not sure. I'm going to correct it if I'm wrong here on the screen with a text. You have 2 USB 3 ports here for external hard drives or an SSD cache or something if you want to do that. Yes, you can use an SSD cache. And the interface is super easy. You can set it up like in this and it's done. This thing does everything for you, so it's super easy to use. We have the DC jack, which is 12 volts by the way, which you can use with this power adapter here. And yes, it's also super dirty, like look at this. We've painted the room and it looked like this after that, and it's far worse. This thing was full of dust actually. There was the whole plates back here were full of dust because of that. So you have a Kensington lock here. Of course, that stuff here with your MAC address and everything, which is going to be blurred out for this video, because I don't want you guys to disable my NAS here. There's not much else going on the sides here, besides some advertisement for Synology. Status LEDs, status for the whole NAS itself, disk 1, disk 2, disk 3, disk 4. There's a little beep on the inside which will beep, as example, if you're connecting a SD card or something and going to import stuff from there. Like you can use a USB station, whatever it's called, I'm not sure. You can plug in your camera here and it will instantly grab every file on the SD card, put it on the folder, delete it on the SD card if you want. You can set everything up like this and it will beep. It will beep once when it's started its job, and it will beep another time, I'm not sure if twice or anything, when it's finished. And the last thing at the front here is the little power button with also a little power indicator, which will, I think, light blue. I'm not sure. So there's not really much to it, and I'm going to show you a bit of the software now, because this video is going for far too long already again, like any of my videos do actually. Okay, so here we are at the login screen, which you'll see when you first start your browser and you have to log in. Let's log in here, and you'll soon be greeted with the desktop. And it's probably a little bit slow because I've just logged in here for the first time after I'm starting the NAS again, so test the load stuff again, and just keep in mind it's not that slow actually when you're using it 24/7 like it should be used. So anyways, we're at a desktop now and it's almost fully loaded, and as you see I've already put some things on here with some icons, and you have this little quick info tab or whatever that's called here, which you can put some other stuff on here. I've just put an overall system status thing here, how full these HDDs are already. So as you see, almost 6 TB used already. Resource monitor for CPU, RAM, Ethernet usage. Protocols for SMB as examples, so you'll see instantly who uploads to this thing, who downloads to this thing, from this thing I mean. And yeah, so what you can do now is you can install some apps with the package manager here. And let me go in here and go to the recommended stuff now. So as an example, you have the download station, which I mentioned earlier already. You can use to throw URLs at it and it will download it for you, and you can also use an app. You also have the video station as an example, which you can load with movies, series and so on, and it's actually quite helpful. So I'm not sure if it's going to be a full Plex replace, because Plex has a few other features too. Video station is a beginner friendly thing, so you just throw video files at it, tell it where to search, and it will also download the infos for you. Photo station is you can make little albums on there and such stuff, but I'm not really a fan of it because it's a little bit too complicated for my taste. Audio station is what it already says. It's an audio station, so you can also connect a loudspeaker to your NAS and you can use it as a radio or something, or as an MP3 player. So I'm not really sure about the radio part, but that would be awesome, I think. I will have to look into that. Anyway, so the audio station is literally just play music over your browser, or I think on your Nest 2 weird loudspeaker. So yeah. Another thing is the note station here, which is, if you know OneNote from Microsoft, it's basically this thing. Or if you don't know it, it's just you can make notes, little to-do lists and such stuff, and it's actually quite nice. Cloud Station Server is the thing I'm using to back up my files here, which is here, and it's still connecting or trying to connect because I've had it unplugged, so yeah. It's still trying to connect and find it. Then we have the Cloud Sync up here, which syncs my home folder from the NAS here to Amazon Drive, encrypted of course. And it's still counting up here because every time you restart the NAS, I think it has to index every file again, and it takes a little while, but it's running 24/7 anyway, so who cares, to be honest. So yeah, that's the main thing I'm using this NAS for, and it's I'm not using it for much, but what I use it for, it's so freaking easy to set up, and you can't do anything wrong with it. And you can also use multiple users here and make new home directories for them. As example, I gave my sister home directory on my NAS, so she can upload her photos from her mobile phone, and yeah, so that's quite handy, and she can then delete them, and I'll also throw them up on the Amazon cloud because it's unlimited if you pay, of course, the 70 bucks or something it is per year. And I've uploaded like 3 terabytes or something in the last 2 months, I think. So I hope Amazon won't actually ban my account. Anyways, you also have the hardware manager here, or the HDD manager, which you can check your HDDs for health stuff, like if there are dead sectors or something. Let me check here. 0 dead sectors on here, so that's quite good. 32 degrees Celsius, so that's also in the range, of course. Western Digital 8 terabyte, I think that means the 8 here. And yeah, you can also do checks, or as you see, auto smart test, which it does one full auto smart test a year, I think, and every month it does like a short one just to see if there are any dead sectors or something. So yeah, that's basically what I'm using this thing for. And as you see, I already have one here, which probably means that I have an update pending. Let me check. Yes, and it's probably a system update anyways. Yeah, I'll do that later. But the next thing is never change a running system. So if everything works, don't update. But I'm like an early adopter. I like early things, but sometimes it screwed me over already. So yeah. Anyway, so that was a quick overview about the software. Yeah, of course, you have far more packages like I've shown here, and you have also the community tab here where you can add your own URLs here. In the packet manager or the packet URL manager, I've just added these two. And as mentioned earlier, I have VirtualBox as example, which I tried it, but I couldn't get it to run, but it was still in beta, and now I don't need it because my NAS only has like how much RAM does it have? I'm not sure. I just think it has like 4 gigabytes or something. It's the lower model of the two, because I also can get one with 8 gigabytes or more. I'm not sure, but I don't need VirtualBox, to be honest. I have my virtual machines on my main host here, and that's quite enough. But I also have super awesome other stuff. You can also host the TeamSpeak server here, I think. Yes, there we go. TeamSpeak free server. And other stuff like Vim, C Shell. I think that's a bash on this interface here, I think. I'm not sure. No, it's a scripting language, okay. So I didn't know that. Yeah, there's so much stuff to explore here, and the community support is actually really well done. And the nice thing is you have root access to this thing via SSH if you need it. Of course, this voids your warranty, so be prepared if anything fails. Yeah, it's your own fault, to be honest, if you're using root via SSH. You can reset this thing, and you can completely you can completely restore it to stock, but you'd have to set everything up again, and even though it's somewhat easy, I'm not really sure. I've never had a RAID failing, and I don't really want to rebuild it again if I'm going to reset the NAS here. I mean, it should theoretically it should detect everything, but yeah, I'm not counting on that, so maybe, or at least don't do it on purpose or something. Anyway, so thanks for watching this video. I hope you liked it. Sorry that it's not super informative. I'm not really good at making informative videos. I'm just like a surface guy, or whatever you would call that. So yeah, if you want to watch an in-depth video, just go and check out some other videos. And thanks for watching again. Leave a like if you liked it, leave a dislike if you didn't like this video at all. Leave a sub if you super liked this video, and I'll see you in the next one.